Charlie Kirk has died at the age of 31. He was brutally assassinated by an unknown individual who's still at large. The police and the FBI are working together to try and find this individual. The saddest thing, or the saddest fact that I had to learn about this thing, was the fact that his wife and kids were in attendance. He was killed in front of his wife and kids. And you can have your opinions about his opinions, rhetoric, whatever you want to tell me, coin it. What you can't take away is the fact that this man was a father. He was a husband. He was a son. And nobody deserves to be brutally assassinated like that. Nobody deserves to lose their life like that. His kids one day are going to have to grow up and see these videos of him drawing his last breath, him fighting for his life, him being caught off guard. He never had a chance. This shot was taken from 200 to 250 yards according to the report. And so he never had a chance. His security team never had a chance. And I don't think they even anticipated something like this, because it's Charlie Kirk. As much as he might be coined as a right-wing conservative, a polarizing figure, whatever you want to say, I don't think he ever imagined that he would be the subject of an assassination. I don't think even anybody in his team thought about him being assassinated, because it's just sad to imagine. I watched the videos, and it's one of those imageries that I will never be able to erase from my mind, along with all the other things that are going on around the world in terms of wars, kids dying, people getting bombed. So it's just a sad world we live in. Every day you wake up, you see something that just makes you cringe, makes you appreciate life more, and makes you understand, or makes you really realize that there's true evil out in this world. Nobody is. And the saddest thing of this whole situation is seeing on the internet, or even on live stream television, where people are sort of celebrating his death, and pinpointing statements he has made in the past and saying, yeah, because he has made this statement, then sort of say he deserved what happened to him. And as much as people keep saying the internet is not real life, I think the internet is a clear representation of who we are as human beings. I think the internet is where people go and take off their real mask. I think their mask, and then behind that mask is who they are, because they feel that sense of, yeah, I'm protected. This person is in another state. This person is in another country. And even if they are close to me, what are they going to do? Freedom of speech, right? So I can say whatever I want to say, but the fact that you're celebrating somebody getting gunned down in broad daylight, somebody getting assassinated, one shot to the neck, his life is gone. Everything he had planned, gone. Everything he stood for, to a certain degree, most people who stamp on that, who tramp on that and try and whatever. Politics doesn't matter when somebody gets assassinated. And one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, it is a sport reference, was when Cristiano Ronaldo lost when Cristiano Ronaldo's wife, or fiance right now, Georgina Rodriguez, when she lost one of their twins, when I say the football world came together, there were a lot of people who didn't perhaps like Cristiano. They didn't like his life. They didn't like him as a footballer. What to say? They didn't like him personally. The world came together, especially football. They came together. They said, "Bump all the rivalry. We don't care about that." This man and his wife, was a wife to be, lost a child, and we sympathize with them, And that was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen to date. or one of the most beautiful things I've seen today. And I thought, seeing that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I thought, yeah, that would be the same kind of vibe that was gonna happen. But it just feels like division is he's being used as a tool to further divide the United States. You know, there's people who are celebrating his death. There's people who are blaming his death on other people and their opinions and so and so. And I just feel, and to his family, pardon me. I just hope you guys. I know there's nothing we say nothing anybody says is gonna be able to bring back him. And as his kids, you are now filled, and his family, just generally, you're now filled with these grooming laws. These videos are circulating. One day his kids are going to be seeing these videos, and he said his wife and kids were in attendance. And for the world, I just hope we heal from whatever issues we have, because there's no reason for anyone to be celebrating somebody dying. Just a human life. Charlie Kirk was not out here committing crimes. He was not out here committing crimes. He was not out here violating anything. He was just out here trying to debate his opinions about God and his various issues. He was out here trying to create proper discourse for people to communicate. And as we now know, the world we live in, it's all about, if I disagree with you, the next course of action is for me to hurt you. And it's just sad, it's had. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk, rest in peace. Sorry, it's hard to say rest in peace because of the way you went out, but we hope you find peace in the fact that I don't even know what to say. It's just sad. It's a sad day, and I personally hope your death is seen as a way to try and change things, because there's no reason for anybody to just have a tool which can cause pain. The tools have to be in the right people's hands, because things like this, we are always out here discussing, yeah, this happened because another shooting also happened at Evergreen High School in Colorado, where a kid went out and he shot two kids. One was in critical condition, one was in a stable condition. So it's just a consistent thing of saying, yeah, this happened. Okay, cool. I just hope this is not lip service. Whatever all these people are saying is not seen as lip service, and we just don't say, yeah, RIP, whatever, and then next week we move on. A life was lost, and there has to be consequences for that. And there also has to be a way forward, because it can't be a constant thing where somebody gets shot and we're like, cool, RIP, now let's move on. RIP Charlie Kirk. Pray for your family, and we pray that your soul finds peace.